Well, here we are. Hawkins Mansion. The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
Your partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You managed to get something out of that bum? I'll end up asking you for advice.
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was slightly unhinged.
That's not far off the mark, I suppose. But kinda unfair at the same time. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family. So he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though, he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go, right?
I don't believe the fire is the only reason this house is in such a state.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
It's got nothing to do with Charles Hawkins' debts.
Ha! You've already begun to nose around, it would seem. So, since you already know it, the Hawkins family couldn't afford the upkeep of this house. It remains to be seen what they did with all their money. I wager it was Charles Hawkins' travels. Let's go up there. Unless you still have questions.
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion, or do you have other questions?
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
Why not? You can help.
Right. Let's go.
Bradley was right. This place is much older than I imagined. Charles Hawkins' grave. Who could have done this?
I told you. Silas Winchester is still watching over the Hawkins family.
I must say, it's pretty gloomy.
So, Detective, does this place inspire any thoughts?
Why were they buried here?
I was given to believe that it was Charles Hawkins' wish.
Strange idea. I imagine Webster wasn't too pleased.
Mrs. Hawkins' father? It's said that he's devastated.
Let's go to the mansion.
Please give me a minute. I didn't expect to set foot back here after the burial. What kind of deranged individual would defile this sanctuary? And steal a burnt painting? I don't see Silas doing such a thing. Let alone allowing it. Even that broad baker is above that. Lord, have pity on this poor family.
Poor kid. The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh. The old caretaker must be very attached to her. I'll have to find another entrance. This entrance is still in use. Whoa!
You were trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them. Dump them into the ocean.
You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe. Let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater.
You haven't forgiven yourself. You stay here to honor the memory of the deceased.
That's true. I want no more violence. No more tragedy.
It's painful to be the last one left.
You don't know how right you are. Understood. I'm listening.
The police report describes a domestic accident, but Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
No, I can't let you in. The mansion isn't safe.
That's why you barricaded the entrance.
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked, and I make sure it stays that way.
The sooner I carry out my investigation, the sooner I wrap up the case and return to Boston. After which, you'll never hear of me again.
Huh. I like the sound of that, but I have a better idea. You leave right now, and you never come back.
What are you doing?
Officer Bradley, this hood was trying to break into the mansion.
Do something, Bradley, or this story will have a nasty ending.
I vouch for him, Silas. He's working with us. We have reason to believe that someone entered the mansion and stole some paintings.
Impossible. I would have seen it.
Better safe than sorry. Now let us in. I promise to keep an eye on this one.
Okay then. I'll leave the key with you. You could have told me that earlier, Sonny.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion.
Pierce, shall we enter? Now that you've finished your fun and games with Silas, we can perhaps inspect the mansion.
You're right. Let's go. Let's take a look inside.
I'm with you. Follow me. I know the place. Who left this light on?
The Last Supper of the Hawkins. What does this tell me? What kind of meat is this? This place is for the head of the family, Charles Hawkins. The boy was probably here, smashed his plate on the floor. Sarah Hawkins didn't eat. Was it because of the meat or something else? Something happened at this table. An argument?
Hey, Pierce. Daydreaming again?
Working, officer. This dinner table tells us a lot about the Hawkins family life.
Well, we don't have all day. The scene of the fire is next door. Silas managed to bring the fire.
Let's see
under
if I can
control.
find something the cops
It's
missed.
already too late for the Hawkins.
Was Charles Hawkins a heavy drinker? They had a fight. Why? Did it stop at the time of the fire? The child's corpse left a trace. Where are the others? If the painting I found on the docks really came from here, how come it didn't burn? Did Sarah Hawkins lose one of her shoes? How? Did someone escape the fire? Blood. This lamp was thrown. This was no accident. This was a fight. Someone fell here. A desperate attempt to flee. And the boy.
So, Detective, what do you make of it?
I firmly believe this fire was more than just an accident.
Huh. What's your theory?
I think the Hawkins couple got into a fight.
You sure of that?
There's only one way to be sure.
I just ask that you don't disturb anything. If Chief West found out about what we're doing, I'd be in serious trouble.
This door is locked. These bandages are covered in dried blood. But whose? This door is blocked from the outside. What do you know about Charles Hawkins' activities?
Well, not much, to be honest. We all assumed the Hawkins lived on Charles's inheritance. If you're right, we should be able to find clues among the Hawkins' personal effects.
This place was falling apart long before the fire. Moby Dick, Melville's classic. The epic battle between man and whale. Mandatory reading for any whaler, I guess. Locked. The boys' room. A child's fort. From what threat was Simon protecting his world? Tom Sawyer, Mark Twain. Sarah must have read it to him before bed. Sleeping pills. Strong for an 11-year-old boy. What was wrong with this family? What nightmarish vision could have inspired them? Simon's troubles went beyond family problems. That kid saw something. Something terrified him. What will her room reveal about her? This padlock is too complicated for me. This door is locked. It's no use. The padlock won't give. It's no use. The padlock won't give. Was Sarah Hawkins interested in the occult? What was she trying to achieve? This ledger lists all of the paintings Sarah Hawkins sold. It seems the last one was given for free to a Francis Sanders. I wonder why. Sarah Hawkins' agent was getting worried. Seems she wasn't giving any signs of life. The door is blocked on the other side. Bradley? Is that you? Is anyone there? You! Stop! Bradley, did you see which way he went?
Who? I didn't see anyone. I just heard some noise. Are you all right?
A man was hiding on the upper level. He ran when he saw me. He can't be far.
I'll cover you.
This door was closed earlier. Where did he go? It looks like an old Seaway map.
Do you really think that your fugitive came in here? I don't see any way out.
Charles Hawkins was keeping her father's letters from her. Seems like this came from a log. There must be a link with the Seaway map. This globe seems to have been part of some mechanism. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Looks like the navigational paths described in the log. as if the bookcase has been moved several times. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. This Dr. Fuller, was he Sarah Hawkins' therapist? They look like Celtic runes. Charles must have brought them back from one of his foreign trips. Clearly, Charles Hawkins knew Captain Fitzroy very well. I wonder who the man with the glasses is in the photograph. It looks like a freehand map of Darkwater. Certain areas have been highlighted. I wonder why. The Scylla. It's the boat that was stranded at the end. This panel is movable. Cogwheels. They must be linked to an opening mechanism. Probably a secret passage. I must find a way to activate the opening mechanism. Damnation. I can't budge these gears. I need a tool. Looks like the navigational paths described in the log. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. 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 Looks like the navigational paths described in the log. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. 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 Looks like it worked.
Well done, Pierce.